All right, tomorrow, Reggie Bush is on our show. New college football pregame show here on Fox. Rob Stone, Urban Meyer, Reggie, Matt Leinart, and Brady Quinn. Urban and Reggie are now full-time additions to Fox Sports. We've done very well on this network when we've created pregame shows with well-known people, the football shows, obviously, and the baseball shows with A-Rod. So that's going to air Saturdays on Fox, going in, hour-long show, going into our biggest game of the day. So, you know, you're a Michigan-Ohio State level game. So Reggie's on our show tomorrow, asking him some questions about all sorts of stuff. So that's a big deal for us.
Yeah, exciting stuff.
Big deal. Other announcements coming. I'm not going to get into it. Hey, we just, all we do is throw.
Love to do that.
We throw haymakers at this company. We don't jab.
You'll just throw stuff out there.
We're big.
Dangle it.
It's a haymaker company.
Mm-hmm.
Pew, pew, pew.
That's your haymaker?
I'm not saying I can throw one. And with that, we bring on 13 NBA seasons. He won a championship with the 2016 LeBron James-led Cavs. Dante Jones stopping by our show today. You know, so during the break, you brought up something very interesting.
Oh, man.
And, you know, people have said D'Angelo Russell left the Lakers, he got better. Julius Randle left the Lakers, he got better. Jordan Clarkson looked distracted in town. It's a very young Laker team. And you said L.A.'s not great for rebuilding young teams. Why?
Because you have to build a team according to your personal market, period, and what's going on in your market. So I think about like my rookie year. I would have been lost in LA with all the resources, with all the things to do on and off the court. Like, it's a lot of distractions. It's a city built for a veteran presence or a veteran team, guys who know their role, but also guys who know what it takes for them to be successful on and off the court.
You know, it's funny, in the NFL, they call them port cities, New Orleans, Miami, New York, Los Angeles, or San Francisco, where you have these big ports, generally means better nightlife.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So, right, even I posed that to you, like, if you were 20, if you were 19.
I was very mature for my age, but go ahead.
But you'd have to have a rookie wise beyond his years, like a Kobe Bryant, a guy who's ultra focused, who comes from a basketball lineage, who knows what it takes to be successful, and it's just all basketball, and that's his personality. There's nothing wrong with a kid who's social and likes to have fun,
but LA gobbles you up.
LA could gobble you up, regardless of what industry you're in.
You know, it's interesting. Jeff Van Gundy said, listen, with Brandon Ingram, the disclosure that Brandon Ingram has a medical condition which probably takes him off the market for a lot of teams. There are going to be teams that are concerned a little. He's got the Chris Bosh.
They'll monitor his health going forward. Like, they'll monitor the situation, and if he gets cleared and has a clear bill of health, yeah, they'll be fine with that. That's an issue on the second time, not the first time.
Don't you think, though, the quality of their assets beyond LeBron, that if somebody called and offered a ton for LeBron, wouldn't you have to listen?
Not at all. You know why?
Why?
Because the stigma that comes with you trading LeBron after year one. See, the Clippers are they have 2 max slots, but what they're going to be fighting in offseason is what they did to Blake. You promised him the world. His jersey's going to be hanging in the rafters, and look what you did to him. So what makes me different? Now, they're going to be able to find a way to possibly get out of that and still keep the conversation going, but it's going to be at the back of people's minds. The Celtics going forward. What makes me different than Isaiah? He gave you the best years of his career, MVP candidate.
Yeah, but his hip fell apart.
Yeah, but he played for you. He played because of his loyalty to your organization, and he wanted to help you guys.
So he
bought all the way in, and then you guys
So the
moved him.
Celtics and the Clippers, among players, have a so-so reputation.
They have to deal with the stigma associated with how their organization moved. And you have to answer that question going forth. You have to answer why would it be a possibility if I don't do what I'm supposed to in year one. And it's like kind of running from the challenge. If the Lakers move LeBron James because of year one was not what we expected, then you don't just try and get better. You don't try to do better as an organization and build the roster out. You just say, just scrap the whole idea. No, it's a journey. It's something like if you fail at something one time, you don't just give up. It's not a dead-end street. The guy just had a 30-point triple-double in 27 minutes. I don't see too many people doing this against the Celtics, who are a very good defensive team, and have guys to guard him. A 30-point triple-double. And we're talking about trade him?
So yesterday, a piece of video surfaces with Steve Kerr. And Steve Kerr, who's I see as a very tolerant coach.
Very patient man. Seems like him.
Very patient. And listen, dynasties have egos and entitlement. That's okay. I mean, they've all had it. So you read his lips, and he said, "I'm so blank and tired of Draymond's blank." And I have this theory that Draymond and KD had a very personal public spat, and it got personal.
Okay.
And when a secondary player gets personal with a legend, legends don't forget it. Okay?
True.
It's one thing if Michael Jordan and Michael Jordan and Pippen argued. They need each other. They're stars. They respect it. But Judd Buechler goes up to Michael.
Stop. Jed, you got to pack your stuff, Jed.
Pack your stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Draymond calls out KD, who's kind of thin-skinned anyway, a little bit. But 3 weeks later, the rumors all started. KD was not totally happy in it. And my takeaway is this is a power play, and that Draymond is leaving and KD's not. And when I see Steve Kerr say that, I'm tired of Draymond's blank, that means something happened in that game that's happening over and over, and Kerr, highly tolerant and patient. It feels like to me, I still struggle with the idea. I think Kevin Durant's smart. I think he knows he plays in a great organization. I think he's going to power play Draymond out of town. Am I nuts?
He holds the cards to Draymond's future in Golden State. I've always thought that because of that riff. That riff was not just a surface level little name call and you get past it. It seemed way deeper than what what we were perceiving in the media.
Felt personal.
Right. It felt very, very personal.
And it was public. It wasn't in a locker room. He had to answer
in front of millions of people.
And Kevin Durant, by the way, had to answer multiple questions about it.
Right. And it kept lingering, and it kept and you have to see this man every day. And he said, sometimes in an argument with your wife, you got to be like, listen, just don't say something we can't pull back. Like, just let's let our emotions die down a little bit, and just don't say something that I'll remember forever. We have to watch our words sometimes, and you can't dial some of that stuff back, unfortunately. So he holds his future in his hands, basically. Because if KD's like, listen, I don't want to come back. If Draymond's here, then what do you do?
And Draymond's, he's played great defense for years. He doesn't look like the same.
If KD leaves,
well, then you're stuck with him.
No, you're not stuck with him. Draymond has all the leverage and the negotiation power, because you kind of need me. You need me on. So you need Draymond before all the stuff that Steve Kerr doesn't like right now. His stuff, like that bravado that Draymond brings to the team, is toughness. Is something that they need in times of turmoil. Like when things get bad, Draymond is there, and he's there to pick up the pieces. But it can rub you the wrong way sometimes. And that's Steve and Draymond's relationship. That's what they go through at times. They love each other, and then they hate each other, and then they're back. I don't take that as for too much, being that like they're done with each other. By no means.
What could I say to you as a player? So you're the star, and I'm a solid role player. What could I say to you and you'd be okay with? Dante, you're mailing it in defensively.
Depends on the individual. One reason I hold Bron in such high esteem, right? Because he really takes that challenge. And I have not seen that over my tenure in the NBA. When a high-level player, when you're at the end of the bench, when you're a role player, when you're a guy that doesn't have as much effect on the game as he does, when you criticize and try to hold them accountable, they kind of get sensitive and in their feelings, right? But that turns him the other way. He's the first to be like, you know what? You're right. I got it. Things can snowball if you don't say it to him, or if he doesn't have anybody on his bench to say it to him, or has that type of personality to be able to hold him accountable. But if you do hold him accountable as his teammate, as his peer, he will look himself in the mirror and fix it. He won't make excuses. He'll fix it. And most people won't when they get that high on the totem pole. They'll just make excuses, or you don't understand, or who are you talking to, or tune you out, or get rid of you, or find a way to make it him or me.
Yeah. By the way, Kyrie's a different dude. He gets in his feelings. Celtics playing well. Gordon Hayward. Do you buy Boston's quick turnaround here in the last week?
I buy it.
So do I.
I buy it because of his personality. He's a great guy, mind you.
Kyrie.
Yeah, but when he's down, he's down, and when he's up, he's up. And your goal is to keep him up as long as possible. And they seem like they're genuinely up. They seem like they're cheering for each other. Like, if you watch the bench, they figured it out a little bit. And it doesn't take much. Shaq made a great point on TNT saying that like sometimes it needs to blow up, it needs to get the worst as possible, and then it can restart again.
Yeah.
And relationships can grow and you can find a love for each other. And then once it clicks, then you got to watch out for that team. I think they're in a position right now for if they keep that energy going on amongst themselves, it's nothing Brad Stevens can do. It's all them. It's all their relationship. It's all stepping outside of themselves and trying to be better for each other as teammates, first and foremost. Because if you do that and you have people cheering for you, your talent can speak and grow and you can overachieve.
Good seeing you, Dante Jones. 13 NBA seasons. Thanks for coming on, bud.
Appreciate you having me.
Joy with a new.